Bonny and Baier. In a distant forest, there lived a rabbit and a turtle. The rabbit, Bonny, had thin and long legs and was very agile. He was the fastest animal in the forest. On the other hand, the turtle, Baier, had short legs and moved very slowly. Therefore, Bonny often mocked Baier, saying, "Baier, you run slower than the sun moves, it makes me want to nap." But Baier firmly believed that stability and perseverance were the keys to success. One day, Bonny was sunbathing under a big oak tree. He saw Baier slowly crawling over with his half-closed eyes. Bonny teased, "Baier, where are you going? You walk so slowly, won't it be dark by the time you get home?" "Ha ha ha ha." Baier slowly raised his head and said, "It's okay to walk slowly. I will get there eventually. It may not necessarily be slower." "Are you going to lie here all day?" Bonny replied, "I will rest here for a while, and then run home when the sun starts to set. I might have finished dinner by the time you get home." Baier said, "My home is not far from here, it's hard to say who will get home first." Bonny said, "How could you possibly beat me? I am much faster than you." Baier replied, "Then let's have a race." Upon hearing that Baier wanted to race him in running, Bonny immediately jumped up and said, "All right, let's run." They decided to set the finish line at the other end of the forest. Then Bonny and Baier stood together at the starting line. Next, Bonny said, "Ready, go," and immediately dashed out like lightning. After the race started, Bonny quickly jumped out and disappeared in a flash, leaving Baier far behind. Bonny heard the wind whistling by his side and knew that he was far ahead. After sprinting for a while, Bonny was so tired and sweating profusely. So he found a big rock and lay down for a nap. Meanwhile, Baier was steadily crawling forward. Although it was hot, he did not stop to rest and was not intimidated by Bonny's lead. He knew that as long as he persisted, he would have a chance to win the race. He must try his best until the last second of any competition. After a while, Baier also passed by the big rock and saw Bonny resting beside it. He thinking, Bonny chuckled and walked around, "I know you couldn't run far, you lazy Bonny." After an unknown period of time, Bonny woke up leisurely. He squinted his eyes and looked up to see that the sun seemed to be setting. After yawning and stretching lazily, he noticed some footprints on the ground. Baier has been here for a while now. Oh no! He's been so serious today. Could he be almost at the finish line? He jumped up in shock and started chasing with all his might. After running for a while, Bonny caught up with Baier and cheered happily. So he sped up his pace and passed Baier. When Baier heard Bonny's voice at this time, he felt regretful. "Oh, I'm almost there." But Bonny woke up at this moment. When Bonny caught up with Baier, he waved goodbye mockingly after passing him. Not long after that, Bonny saw a big river in front of him. The river was too wide for him to jump over no matter how hard he tried. He couldn't swim either, so he could only walk back and forth by the river trying to figure out what to do. After a while, Baier also came over and saw Bonny standing still in a daze. He found it strange, but when he saw the big river he understood why. This was indeed a good opportunity to teach Bonny a lesson, so he went straight into the river and started swimming happily. Bonny reached out his hand wanting to ask Baier for help crossing the river, but remembering how he used to mock Baier made him too embarrassed to ask. Baier swam for a few minutes thinking about how lonely Bonny looked. Although Bonny used to mock me, we all live in the forest together and may help each other. I've seen lots of fruits on the other side before, so we can eat them together. When Bonny saw Baier turn back, he was very surprised. He has already won, why is he swimming back? Baier raised his head in the water and said, "There are lots of fruits on the other side of the river, let's go eat together." So they crossed the river together with Baier carrying Bonny on his back.